Friends, welcome to today's lecture of cooling tower, part 6. In today's lecture, we will be discussing basically about the parts of the cooling tower along with various type of questions that are asked regarding the cooling tower in various type of interviews. So friends, if you like my videos, then share it and subscribe my channel. So friends, starting with cooling tower. So friends, starting with the parts of the cooling tower. Friends, here is the basic diagram that is showing the parts. The important parts are basically the fan, the eliminator, the sprinkler, the mesh, PVC filling, bleed valve. Here is the region from where air inlets. Here is the water sump. Here is the overflow line. Here is the makeup water line. So friends, starting with the eliminator. Friends, the eliminator is just placed below the fan. The role of the eliminator that it only allows air to pass through it. It doesn't allow any water to pass through it, because inside the cooling tower, in this zone, what takes place? Both heat transfer and mass transfer. The hot water and air comes in contact with it and evaporation phenomena takes place. So maximum chances are there that some of the water must be carried out along with the air. So the role of this eliminator is just to trap the water that is being carried over along with the air and allow just the air to pass through it. The second part is basically spray nozzles. Here you can see the spray nozzles. The role of the spray nozzles is to properly spray the water on these PVC fillings. The main role of this is it increases the surface area of the water that is coming in contact with the air and increases the rate of evaporation. So friends, this is the role of basically the spray nozzles. Now talking with PVC filling. So friends, the main role of this PVC filling is basically it reduces the falling speed of the hot water. This PVC filling, it reduces the speed of the hot water that is falling. Friends, next part is basically the mesh. Actually, here I have shown the induced draft cooling tower as the fan is placed on the top, as I have told you earlier in my lectures. So the role of this mesh is just to trap the dust particles that can come into the cooling tower along with the air. So friends, the role of this mesh is to trap the unwanted dust particles that can come along with the air. Next part is friends, float valve. The role of this float valve is basically to control the level of the water. Next is friends, bleed valve. Friends, the role of this bleed valve is to maintain the concentration of minerals and salts inside the cooling tower by addition of water in it. Next part is body. The body of cooling tower is basically made up of fiber, as it has good corrosion resistance properties also. So friends, these are basically related with the parts of the cooling tower. Now from next slides, we will be going for the questions related to cooling tower. So friend, my first question is, what is cooling tower? So friend, as I have told you earlier, cooling tower is basically a device that is used to remove heat from hot water, or that is basically used to remove heat from process fluid. Device used for removal of heat from the process water / fluid. Next is friends, on which unit operation cooling tower works. Friends, cooling tower works basically on evaporation. So evaporation is the unit operation on which cooling tower works. I have discussed it in very detail in my lecture 1 of cooling tower. Those who have missed that lecture, that they can go through that lecture. Next is friends, what is the basic principle on which cooling takes place in cooling tower? Friends, as I have told, the unit operation is evaporation. The basic principle is evaporative cooling, because as evaporation takes place, the water loses its heat energy and it cools the surface in which it is attached. So friends, the basic principle is evaporative cooling. I have described this in detail in my lecture 1 of cooling tower. So friends, moving to next question, what type of heat transfer takes place in cooling tower? So friends, basically only latent heat of vaporization takes place in cooling tower. Latent heat of vaporization, I have covered this in lecture 1 of cooling tower. Next is, what is range in cooling tower? Friends, I have told you earlier that range is basically the temperature difference between the hot water that is coming in of the cooling tower minus the cold water that is going out of the cooling tower. So friends, range is basically the difference of the hot water inlet into the cooling tower minus hot water that is going out of the cooling tower. I have covered that in detail in my lecture 4 of cooling tower. Next question is, friend, what is approach in cooling tower? Friends, approach is basically the difference between the cooling water that is going out of the cooling tower minus the wet bulb temperature. So friends, that is basically the approach. Here you can see that approach is hot water outlet temperature minus wet bulb temperature of the cooling tower. Next question is, friends, what is relative humidity of a cooling tower? Friends, actually relative humidity is basically the ratio of the moisture present in the air with respect to the total moisture that it can hold. The ratio of moisture present in the air with respect to total moisture it can hold. In my lecture 3 of cooling tower, I have covered this topic in a detailed way. Friends, next question is, what is wet bulb temperature? Friends, wet bulb temperature is basically the temperature measured by the cooling tower when I place a wet wick on the surface of the thermometer. Temperature measured by the thermometer when its tip is covered with a wet wick. Why we measure the wet bulb temperature in the case of a cooling tower? Actually, the wet bulb temperature gives us the exact measurement of what is the relative humidity of the air that is coming in the cooling tower. That's why we always go for wet bulb temperature. Wet bulb temperature gives us an idea about the humidity present in the circulating air. I have described this in a detailed way in my lecture 3 of cooling tower. Friends, next question is, what is cooling tower capacity? Friends, capacity of a cooling tower is basically the amount it can remove from the process water. Its units are basically kilocalorie per hour oblique ton of refrigerations. It is basically the heat removed per hour from the hot water or the process water or process fluid. What is COC? Friends, COC is basically a cycle of concentrations. Here you can see that it is a ratio of dissolved solids in the circulating water with respect to the dissolved solids in the makeup water. So friends, that is basically the COC, the cycle of concentration. I have covered this in a very detailed way in my lecture 4 of cooling tower. Next is, what is the significance of COC? Friends, as you can see here, the COC is basically the ratio of the dissolved solids in circulating water with respect to the makeup water. So COC basically tells us about the level of the impurities and the level of the salts or the solids that are present in the cooling tower. So friend, it basically tells us about the amount of solids oblique impurities present in the cooling tower system. I have covered this in detailed way in my lecture 5 of cooling tower. Friends, moving to next question, why blowdown is necessary in cooling tower? Friends, actually blowdown is necessary in a cooling tower because as the water is circulating in a cooling tower, its temperature is higher. So the impurities and the solids present in the cooling tower, they goes on concentrating. So we have to maintain the level of these solids at a certain fixed level. So to maintain that level fixed, we have to remove the water that is circulating and add up some fresh water. That's why blowdown is necessary in cooling tower, to make the impurities at desired level in cooling tower. Next is, what is TR? Friends, TR is basically ton of refrigeration. It tells us about the heat removal capacity of a cooling tower. 1 TR is basically 3024 kilocalorie per hour. Ton of refrigeration, 1 TR is 3024 kilocalorie per hour. I have described this in a detailed way in my lecture of ton of refrigeration. Next is, friends, what is the significance of TR? Friends, actually the TR value tells us that how much heat my cooling tower can remove. Suppose I tell you that my cooling tower has a capacity of 5 TR. So that means 5 is into 3024 kilocalorie per hour of heat is my cooling tower that can remove from that system. So friends, heat removal capacity of any refrigeration system / air cooling systems is expressed in terms of TR. So friends, 1 TR is basically 3024 kilocalorie per hour. If I tell you that I have a system of 10 TR, that means if I tell you that I have a cooling tower of 10 TR, that means that cooling tower can remove 30240 kilocalorie per hour of heat from that process that it is serving. So friends, that's all for today. Hope you have enjoyed today's lecture. If you have any type of queries, then you can just drop me a message on YouTube. Friends, tomorrow we will discuss about the NFPA diamond. That what is NFPA diamond, what is the need of NFPA diamond. Till then, goodbye, have a nice day.